What's up, F&I Fuel team? I want to go over a couple ways to do presentations today. So there's a bunch of different ways people talk about how to do a presentation. You got a couple things to consider though. How much time do you have in the office? Do your customers really want to be there? And are they actually really responsibly listening to what you say? I've done presentations before where I've given the best presentation I thought in my life. I get done, and then the customer has no idea what I just said. So got to kick that out. So let's go through a couple different styles. You got one, which is just step selling. You take a widget like a service contract, you talk about the benefits, why they need it, you go over pricing, you handle objections, and then you move on to the next product. This is, if you had unlimited time, would be great. But the reality is by the time I, had a little bit of rate, sold a service contract, maybe sold Gap, 40 minutes in my delivery, I'm not going through the rest of the programs because I've already done well. And that's what happens. There's a straight, what I call a menu attack, where I throw a menu out, I review all the programs on the menu. But what happens there is a lot of times is customers aren't listening to you because they see the payments on there and they don't understand why the payment's so much higher. And as you're talking about your programs, you end up sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher, who's just going blah, 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 because they're not listening to anything you're saying, right? I've seen presentations where, they'll go over like what the factory warranty covers, and then show all the, the areas where you're not covered, which done the right way is good, because all they're doing is they're building up need awareness so you understand why you're going to need the stuff I'm about to offer you. Done the wrong way though, I find people actually end up overselling the factory warranty and don't close the service contract. So one way, one style we've done that's worked really well is we combine package selling with menu selling. So what ends up happening is I want to go through why things can happen to them, how it works, and then show what everything is on the menu at the end. Because my goal is to have the customer understand all the available options to them. And at the same time, when they get to the menu, they're able to make an educated, not guess, but an educated decision on what they actually want. And that's where you want them to be. If you get through a presentation and the customer understands everything you offered, why you need them, they all make sense, you're able to handle objections, they didn't buy anything, that's not a fail. That's just that customer. You're gonna have some of those. You did your job. And you wanna do your job the best you can with every single customer. And if you do that, your numbers will keep going up, okay? So here's something to think about. When somebody first comes in your office, usually their arms are crossed, even when they're signing paperwork. I highly recommend getting anything that's up front out of the way first, and anything that doesn't change mathematically. And this just does a couple of things. It gets them in the habit of saying yes, they want the car, which is good. And also, if there's a hiccup or if they're not really sold on the car, that comes up now before you get through your whole presentation. And that happens really rarely, but when it happens, you're happy that it happened at the very first few minutes versus all the way at the end of your presentation, right? So go through some upfronts. I highly recommend that you go through your manufacturer CSI, whether you have a manufacturer or not. Just talk about how it's important to you that they're happy. Explain how it's graded, and then ask them if there's any reason they're unhappy, because a lot of times people like to vent, and if they vent to you, they're not venting on your survey. And also maybe they just want to complain a little bit, human nature, and now you can move on to your presentation and their arms coming across. So here's where kind of like, and I'm gonna give you a quick down and dirty way to roll through this, but here's how it works, okay? Go through the manufacturer survey, get done with that. If you're my customer, Mr. Customer, along with the day, it's really important that you're satisfied 3, 4, and 5 years down the road, because that's usually when you're gonna decide to trade your vehicle in. And the way we grow our business is have people come back and buy more cars. We also have a great referral program. So if you know anybody that's looking for a car, let us know, and we will actually give you a referral fee for it. We can find any car for any customer. All you gotta do is let us know. And we wanna be your only place to go to get cars. Now, we've found, since we've been open for over 50 years, that there are a few things that keep popping up that make customers not come back to us. So let me share those with you. Number one is, right now, got a great car. The technology in this car is fantastic. And but what is happening is you have a 3-year, 36,000 mile factory warranty on the car. You told me earlier you drive about 20,000 miles a year. So really, you have a little less than 2 years of full factory warranty, but you're going to finance your car for 6 years. So what ends up happening is for 4 years, if anything pops up, that's going to add like to your monthly payment. So if you have a computer go out or something go wrong with your car, you have to repair your vehicle plus make your monthly payment. And that's one of the biggest issues that our customers have. The second one comes with how insurance companies work. So let me give you an example. You're driving this car, you're at a red light 3 months from now. Light turns green, you're doing everything right, you go through it, and there's some teenager texting on the phone. Drives to the light, hits you. Now you're okay, they're okay. After you call the police and everything in your family, you call your insurance company. Now your insurance company will take your car to a body shop, and they're going to figure out if they can fix it or if they're going to total it. So let's say they total it. Now at this time, you owe $30,000 on your vehicle. However, the insurance company only says your car's worth $22,000. So there's an $8,000 difference. Who do you think is responsible for that? Customer's going to come back and say either they are, the person that hit them, or my insurance company. Either answer is fine, because now you can explain how insurance companies work, which is going to leave in the gap, right? So I explain that. And the last thing, it just comes in, when you bring the vehicle back in, you want to trade it or you want to resell it. Well, you can control the way the car is mechanically by getting it fixed. However, dents and dings, windshield cracks or chips, mismatched tires, interior staining, exterior staining, all these things will lower the value of your car if it doesn't look like it does today. And it can cost you thousands. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you never had to worry about any of that? Okay, great. So what we've done is we designed a package for you. The first issue we talked about was run out of factory warranty. We have a service contract that's going to cover you for 6 years, 100,000 miles. It pretty much mirrors what your factory warranty covers, plus it's going to pick up roadside assistance for the next 6 years. We're also going to cover your tires and rims for you. So if you blow a tire out on a public roadway, it can't be fixed, we'll give you a new one. And if you damage your rim or it won't hold a tire, giving you one on that. And that's how we solved that first problem. The second issue was when we talked about how insurance companies work. If you totaled it, that's where you owed the $8,000 plus your insurance deductible, plus you had to buy another car. We have our gap insurance, which what it's going to do for you is if that ever happens to you, it pays that $8,000. If it's that, plus it'll pay up to $1,000 of your insurance deductible. So all you have to do is come back and buy another car from us. And the last thing we talked about was maximizing your trade-in and resale value. We have our Keep It New program, which we're going to put a sealant on the outside of your car and the inside of your vehicle. Any damage from acid rain, bird droppings, sea salt, road salt, if it fades, oxidizes, if we can't get that stain out, we're going to repaint your vehicle so it looks like it does today. The same with the interior. Any stain in the interior, if we can't get it out, we'll reupholster your vehicle. It also comes with dent and ding protection. So if you get those shopping cart dings, we'll pop them out for you. If you crack a windshield, we'll either fix or replace that. And if you get a rip, tear, burn in your seat, we'll also fix that. So basically, the cosmetics of your vehicle, anything that happens, we'll take care of that. Now, can you see how these programs actually solve the problems we talked about? Yes. And then I go over the menu with them, because now they know what everything is. So as I go through the package of the menu, it makes sense to them, and then they can choose. And then sometimes through my presentation, they'll tell me what they want before I even get there. So just a couple little notes. I know it's a long video today, but I just want to go through just a different style of a presentation so you can see it. Thanks, guys.